Welcome to Dave's Garage. We have a new addition to Graves Garage here at Mountain Motorsports in Beaufort, Georgia. Got to decide what to do with the Triumph, but in the meantime, we're taking this home. 2023 Yamaha MT-10 quick shift auto blip. It's got the first full. Anybody got the keys? No, the keys to the bike. Where'd I? Maybe they're in the. Nope, they're in my pocket. Get them out for me? No, I got it. Mountain Motorsports goes the extra mile. So, it's like, I don't know what you're looking for in there, but it's a little to the left. All right, so, basically, we got a naked R1, dudes, and dudette. I'm assuming there's at least one woman that watches my channel. Oh, that beautiful R1-ish sound. Put the high beam on. Yup. Yeah, doesn't need much in the way of mods other than a Leo Vinci X pipe or mid pipe. Gonna keep the stock headers, stock muffler. Have Chris Moore flash the ECU. When I get home, first thing coming off are these passenger pegs, because I will not take a passenger on a bike. We got quick shift, auto blip, slide control, wheelie control, lift control, ride modes, 6-axis IMU, steering damper, Bridgestone S22s. Yeah, clutch point's way out. Let's see. Not enough slack in there. Remember, you got to be able to fit 2 dimes in there. Yeah. There we go. Get some of our settings in here. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll text you a picture of the Triumph and all the specs that are on it. It's a really tasty bike. I think it'll sell pretty quick. So, thank you.
Thanks again, man.
All right, so we're in power mode 2. You gonna go separately, or you gonna follow me, or go separately?
I'll try to.
Okay, I'll wait for you. Yeah, I can see what it said. There's like a coating on the brakes. Have to give it a couple good pulls to get whatever that shit is off there. Some kind of preservative. It's like, I don't know why you do that. I guess to keep it from corroding. It's not like it's super oily. But, oh, got that new bike smell. And every new bike smells just a little bit different and weirder than the other. Seating position's good. Seat's comfortable. Does pitch you forward onto your nuts a little bit. Come on, Jakey. Let's see, he didn't put it in sport mode. Make sure he puts it in sport mode. There's a drive mode button on one of those rocker switches towards the end. Put it in sport plus. So this will be our first ride review. I've never test ridden this one. I have ridden one in the past, an older gen. That was Wesley's, and his had the full, I don't remember what the hell exhaust system it had on it, but it was something really nice. It was something real nice. Oh, Yamaha does such a good job with their quick shift and auto blip. Do some back roads. Interstate's not going to be that much fun. What do we got? 1.5 miles on it. So we're going to take it a little easy. We're not going to go in. I do a harder break-in, but I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to redline it out of the parking lot. So let's go over here. Now there is a Yamaha accessory for heated grips, and it's built into the ECU, so I believe I just have to buy it and plug it in. And then that, I saw the menu item, but it was grayed out. So that'll be cool. Yeah, there's already a mod list in my head for this bike. And it's going to be a, let's take a little bit of that slack out. There we go. It's going to have a, whatchamacallit pipe, a link pipe, all the just like the R1. The stock headers are good. They flow well. You're not going to pick up that much horsepower from headers. And then there's the muffler. It's a straight through lightweight muffler that looks good and it sounds great. So what I'm probably going to do is just for $260 I can get the Leo Vinci, or as Chris Moore says, Leo Vince. Notice that, Chris, when I was watching your video. I was screaming up my screen. I was like, it's Vinci! It's Italian. But that's how they pronounce it here in the South. Leo Vince, y'all. And so I'll get that and then have Chris flash the ECU. And I should be looking right at 150 horsepower at the wheel. Get the top end hit and some of the other restrictions that they've got in here. But everybody that rides this thing, even in stock form, says it's a bit of a brute. But it's very refined. It's got good electronics. We'll go through the menus at a later time. I'm not going to do that here in traffic. But it's definitely maybe a taller windscreen. But honestly, an ECU flash and a muffler, or that link pipe, and I could probably get a cheaper eBay one for half the price, but whatever. For basically $500-ish, you can add 15 horsepower and drop 10 pounds and make the bike sound like an R1. It sounds like an Aprilia V4. This cross-plane crank motor is the balls. I hear Jake back there blasting my stereo. I hear bass coming through. So Jake's driving the Mustang. I'm trying to think if any of my other friends. Jake might be the first, but Jake stepped up, came home from work early to drive me over there to the dealership. So I was like, hey man, you get to drive the Stang, have a little fun. Not too much, just don't crash it or get it impounded. So far, seating position's good. Arms are kind of neutral. You're pitched a little forward, but I'm largely upright. The handlebars are not wide like the Tracer was. That was the problem with the Tracer, was they were so wide and back that I would pinch my shoulder blades and pinch that nerve just sitting there. All right, if he jams into me, oh, some dirt on there. All right, turn signals are not noise canceling, are not self-canceling. God damn, I love that quick shifter. I see what he was talking about. Eric was like, hey, first couple 5, 8, 10 brakes are going to feel like it doesn't want to stop. And that's because of some preservative they put on the rotors during shipping, and so they don't get any surface rust or anything like that. So it's not super slick. It's not like they smeared it with Cosmoline like you're buying a Eastern Bloc AK that's been in military storage for 2 decades. But it's definitely, I can feel that. So we'll get up to speed at some point and do a couple little breaks and see if we can get the that stuff cooked off. And it will. It'll just come off from heat. And then we'll go through and say, what does Uncle Dave think about the new ride? Well, it's comfortable. The seat's supportive. It's hard. It'll break in though. The wind blast is not as bad as I thought. Now granted, I'm only going 70. I was expecting a little more wind blast, but this thing here actually does a pretty good job of deflection. And they sell an extended one that'll come up to about here. It'll still be small and minimalist. It's not going to look like I've got this big goofy touring screen. But coming up 6 or 8 inches, might even come up more like 10, will make a difference. It's definitely going to make it a little nicer. One thing I'll say about these mirrors, they're in far, so I can't actually see behind me. I can only see the blind spots, which I guess technically that's what they're ideally for anyway. But I would say on most I can look in at a glance without having to do this, move my elbow all the way in. I can see behind me. But we're getting rid of these and putting on a bar end. Yeah, those brakes, I gotta bed those in. Oh, that's a lot of traffic backed up. Fudge. Only I did say fudge. Got the new Mustangs. Any new ones? No? See some Mach 1. Wonder if there's any those dark horses or the new model. I don't see them yet. So this, I think I wanted to go up Peachtree Industrial. I don't know what the hang up here is. Normally I can get through here in not a lot of time. You know what? Let's go this way. Come on, Jake. Let's cut through the Ford dealership. Let's go back. Come on, buddy. This is where I bought my car. It thinks it's going home. Alright, so we'll go back this way. And I'm not gonna lie, I might hold off on the damn exhaust. You know, it is kind of nice once in a while having a bike that's not stupid loud. And it does have a good tone to it. I don't think this microphone, I've got 2 windsocks on it, and I've got the audio level reduced a bit, so it's probably not going to be all that loud to you here. I'll have to do it with the external mic on the next ride. God, that thing's got torque. Torque for days. There he is. Flying through that turn. Yeah, that quick shifter is nice. Ooh, and it's got a power outlet. Awesome. So if I need to recharge my camera or my charging brick or whatever, got an outlet right there. I gotta say, man, so the electronics overview on this thing, first of all, so far the suspension is pretty goddamn good. Switch gear, nothing special. But you can switch things on the fly. So you got all your different modes. And the way that Yamaha does this is there's A mode, B mode, C mode, and D. Now they do come with presets from the factory. I'll go into the settings. And you can go into your YRC settings and you can set up power, how much power you want in B. So you can make them your own. Trash control, slide control, quick shift up and down, wheelie control, electronic braking management, braking control, whether you want ABS to be kind of its most aggressive and not lean angle sensing, or you could put it into mode 2 for lean angle sensing. You know, if you want the front end to come up, but how much before it puts it down. So I want a little bit of wheelies, but I don't want to loop it, so I'm going to keep lift control on. Basically, when you have bikes like this, just like when you have a car like that, leave the goddamn electronics on. Every time I see somebody posting in one of the groups, like, oh, I wrecked my Mustang. First question, did you have the traction off? Yeah. Yeah, well, most people can't handle a 460 horsepower or more, because a lot of the guys will add boost and stuff. Rear-wheel drive car without the electronics. And bikes are the same way. Yamaha has spent literally millions of dollars on R&D'ing this bike, the motor, the electronics package. They employ top test riders, racers. They get feedback from their World Superbike and MotoGP racing programs. All that data goes into these systems. If you're watching this video, you are not better than that. That's just the inconvenient truth there. These systems are really good. Now, they can be overly intrusive if you max them out, so you back them down a little bit. But never turn that shit off. Unless you're just a guy who likes to do wheelies, okay, turn off the lift control. If you're doing burnouts and dumb shit, well, then you might be a dumb shit. But I like having that ability to kind of goose it and have fun, and the wheel comes up a little bit, the back end slides a little bit on the corners exit, but it's not going to let you get on your head unless you really, you know, screw up. Yeah, man, this is really nice so far. The seating position's very neutral with a nod towards Street Fighter aggressive, you know. Suspension feels good. It's got to break it in and loosen up a little bit. We'll take it up to Kent at GMD CompuTrack and see what he thinks. Set my sag and my clickers. I'm going to take a crack at it myself and
see how close I can get it. Oh, front end was coming up. Caught it. Nice. Yeah, I don't like the mirrors. I'm going to say so far I like everything about it. The sound is good for stock. The suspension, I mean, I'm right on the stock setting, so I got to look in the manual and see what they recommend for, you know, if they have a recommendation by weight or riding style. Typically they'll have a street, a comfort or touring, a sport, maybe a track setting. At least that's the way Triumph and Cowie does it. So I'll go in there and look and see what they recommend for sport riding and try that. I'll take some quick measurements with the zip tie trick on the fork leg and put the front wheel in a stand and see if I can get my sag within, you know, a couple millimeters. It's always for me, it's always like a fun thing to see how close can I get it, and then I pay Kent $60 to set it up, and I could get it pretty goddamn close. So, but so far I'm liking it. It seems to track very well. The steering's very neutral. It does have a steering damper, so it's not, you know, it's not it's a nice job with the steering damper so far, because sometimes you feel them and it makes the front feel very wooden and stiff. This feels light and agile, but it feels a little bit taut. It just feels controlled, like it doesn't want to do anything weird, which is, you know, what you want. Haven't tried the other power modes. It was very easy for me to go in and set it up, because it's basically, you know, it's basically the R1 electronics package. Last year, 2022, they moved the package over from the R1 to the MT-10. I think the mirrors are the only things I don't like, and it's because I can't see a car that's actually behind me. I have to make a pronounced movement with my head and really tuck my elbow in. I mean, I don't like the look of the Mickey Mouse ears that are out here and make it look stupid, but they do work better. So one bar end mirror right here, and both of those are coming off, and that's just what I'm going to use. Knew I would get caught at that light, so we're going to go this way. Lightly on the throttle, not really giving it a lot of gas. I guess Jake stopped at the light. That's okay. I'll go hit a couple little side roads. I can tell it's held back. Well, I should say I can tell it's held back. I haven't really gotten on it, and I won't. While I will break the motor in a little bit harder, you know, the ride home, the brakes are still, yeah, they're feeling a little better now. Yeah, we'll keep bedding those in. It is a Brembo radial master cylinder. They are not braided lines, so that's going to be probably an upgrade. I'll do the steel braided lines, at least on the front. So we'll have that. It's not bad for an exhaust sound. It really isn't. It's got that not the V4. Oh, it does sound like a V4, but it's got that note, that growl that the cross-plane crank R1 is just famous for. It's just not that loud. Who knows? If I decide to keep it, what I'll do is just have Chris make a map for this that basically just take the stock bike and just completely de-restrict it. Do your timing advance. Do what's the other? Get rid of the throttle, the ride-by-wire restrictions, top speed limiter, those basic tweaks to just uncork this. Because I don't think a lot of the horsepower he gains on the bike that has the stock headers and everything, it's coming from a tune, but a lot of it's coming from the fact that this thing doesn't give you 100% throttle. You can twist the throttle all you want. It doesn't actually open the throttle bodies 100% until you're like at 10,000. And then by like 11,000 or something like that, it shuts back down to like 68% or 80% or something. So just getting rid of that, which is the same thing if you watch me do it on the Triumphs. It's the same thing. They castrate the top end probably to keep it within a certain power profile, but also to keep it within a certain noise level. So that's what that exhaust valve and then those ride-by-wire restrictions are for, is to keep noise emissions down. So if I do decide to keep the stock exhaust so it's not, you know, it's a little more stealth, I can probably get the horsepower up into the mid 140s with the cats in there just by de-restricting it. So maybe I'll do that. I'm going to ride it around for a few weeks like this and see. Because it's nice sometimes not to have it like screaming in your ear the whole time. Yeah, second gear power wheelies very easily. So far, it just kind of glides around the turn, even over the tar snakes. These are S22, so these are a good tire. They're not the best tire, but they're a good tire. I had S22s on my ZX6R, and I ran them on the street up in the mountains. I ran them on road Atlanta. They're great, very predictable. I still prefer the Dunlop Q3 Plus, and maybe I'll go to the new Q5. Or on these, maybe I'll go to the damn Road 6s, honestly. Wesley had Road 5s on his, and his was tuned, so he had 150 horsepower on his. And he was out running in advanced, on track, with Michelin Road 5s, on a tuned version of one of these. And he's way faster than I am, so if those Road 5s work for him, I think they'd work really well on this bike. Make sure Jake doesn't think I'm going and run in the back of me. Damn it, Jake! Damn it, Carl. And of course the tank protector. I gotta remove the reflectors and remove the stickers, passenger pegs. We'll do a little bit of that stuff, cosmetic shit when I get home. But honestly, it's not hurting my neck at all. It honestly feels a lot like I'm on a street triple. I won't say it's as flickable. It's not as narrow. For some reason, the one that Wesley had, I don't remember what year it was, but his felt a lot thicker in the middle. I felt like I was doing a split sitting on the damn thing. This one, the tank is a little narrower. I feel like I'm a little more in it. But it's just aggressive enough. Yeah, those mirrors are gonna go. They're really shit. But, yeah, the torque and acceleration, I mean, I'm just blipping it just a little bit. And it just wants to go. It's feisty. They added more, I think the top, it's like 164, 166 crank horsepower, something up in the 160s. Completely more than adequate for anything on the street, and honestly on the track. Unless you're looking to do super high speed runs, which frankly you're not going to do that on a naked bike anyway. It's just not fun. Maybe with the taller windscreen, it'll be, you know, that's the one thing that the Tuono, they call it a naked, but it's a half fairing. And so that you put the touring screen on that, and you can go a legit 160, 170 on it, and not be crazy miserable. These side scoops does a pretty good job of deflecting wind off my knees. I think and this up here does a good job. Again, front wheel coming up, just 60% throttle in second. And it just puts it back down. I don't feel it cutting anything. And that's the thing you got to remember with electronics, man. They've gotten so good on most bikes that you could just go rip around on them. And most of the time, I mean, if you're running a race pace and you're really late braking hard into a turn and the ABS kicks in, yeah, you know, that person in that environment's going to feel that. But on the street, I still see people, I don't want electronics on my bike. Just stop. They're better than you, and they will make you a faster rider. I don't want to rely on these systems. You have been in cars for now decades, and really on bikes now for the last 8 to 10 years. This is just the way it is now. This is the way. Like a Mandalorian. Yeah, the brakes are still a little spongy, but they're picking up. All right, Jake. Little gooses. It just picks up and goes, and we're not even on it. We've not even given it anywhere near full throttle, and I don't think we've gone over 8,000 RPMs. Red line's up around 12. So we're gonna ride it like that. We're gonna play a little bit for the first 100 miles. Ooh, what's he got? Like that. That's a cool old car. So we'll play a little bit, but once we get to 100-ish, I'll start getting on it. 150 miles, oil change, filter, and then we're gonna party. My name is Dave, and I like to party. Just trying to stab the front brakes, get a little heat, get whatever that coating is. I'll hit him with brake cleaner later too. Oh, you know what was funny right there? I just started up that hill on a turn in second. I didn't even realize it. This thing's got so much fucking grunt. It was just seamless, like, burp, there you go. What's up, girl? Go past Johnny's house and see if he's out. Nah, garage is closed. He might be home. Probably smoking a bowl. That's Shannon with his little dog. Cool guy. Very nice guy. Oh, I cannot wait to get this thing broken up. Yeah, saw the traction kick in a little bit there, or lift control. Not sure which one it was. Yeah, I can feel the brakes starting to bed in now. Alright. What's up, security camera? Open the door. Where is my... Oh. He's got it. It's in the car.
This is when he'll hit it and just bang! Here. Open the door. All right, Lunchbox. You can pull up a few more feet, pull over to the left a little bit, and the garage door opener's right there.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah, middle button. All right. Stupid dog's barking. Thanks, Mr. Jake. It's a goddamn good-looking bike. The wheels look awesome. Gonna be a bitch to keep clean. But it's all black and liquid gray, and it just has that splash of color. I think it looks pretty goddamn good. And finally, metal right-angled valve stems. None of that plastic shit sticking straight up. That's a bitch to get to when you're on the front wheel and your hands don't fit in there. Dude, it sounds pretty good for stock. You couldn't hear it over that, but I heard the bass thumping behind me. I was like, he's getting it.
I was playing Riding Dirty.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it feels great. I'm going to wipe it down, take off the passenger pegs. Those mirrors suck. That's the only thing so far I don't like about it. They're so damn close together, which looks better, but I can't see anything behind me unless I literally curl my elbow all the way in and tilt my head. Otherwise, all I see is over the sides. And turning it in doesn't do it. So I'm going to cycle gear this week and getting rid of that, replace it with a bolt because that's what that's mounted to. And it's going to do one bar end on one side that folds in. They got CRG knockoffs. It's cycle gear. I need a tank protector. You know, I'm debating that because if I take the cat off, I have to tune it. What's that? Science, sure. I'm gonna have to get a damn. Of course, that comes off in pieces. So, I mean, for stock, it has that sound you're looking for. That's not bad for. Yeah, it's not bad for a stock exhaust. I know it will sound sublime with the link pipe. But if you put the link pipe on, you lose 8 horsepower until you get it tuned. It does lean it out a lot. So I just have to decide. If I decide to keep it, I'm still going to get the ECU flash and get it unrestricted. Because I can still pick up a bunch of horsepower up top. I'll pick up 10 horsepower just from that. And then an extra 5 will come from the, if I decide to do the mid pipe. Oh, dude, I wasn't even I mean, it was just, had a mile and a half on it, so I'm just kind of flicking it, just playing.
That Ford dealership, and you took off to the left. I was like, oh, I don't want to bottom out.
Oh, yeah. At least my car's not lowered, so you got a little bit of clearance.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't want to hit the splitter. I'm going to go strangle that goddamn dog. Yeah, I'm recording. So yeah, just got to remove some stickers, remove the passenger pegs this evening, find a mirror on cycle gear. Dude, thank you very much, Jake.
That thing ripped.
It's a fun little car.
Fun car.
All right, man.
Enjoy your new bike.
I am going to. So yeah, I'll wipe down the rotors with some brake cleaner, make sure we get any of that preservative stuff off. You can see it coming off a little bit. But yeah, it's a very, very fun bike so far. I'm looking forward to this. I'm gonna get it up. I need some swing arm spools too. So I get a set of those. So we're gonna move. Stupid all this shit, mother-in-law. This crap in my garage. So we're going to move the Cowie over. We're going to put that one up in here. All right, let's do this without putting it back into the other bike. Do 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 do. All right, we'll move that stuff later and get this more in there. Pull this up into here. And that'll conclude Dave's garage for now. I'm just going to go over the bike and check stuff and wipe it down. Take off my passenger pegs. And start thinking about what I want to do with this thing. Let the mods and the fun begin. Got the wheel chock. There we go. Now I can start playing with suspension and learning about my bike. Anyway, folks, that's the update for today. First ride impressions, love it. Mirrors suck, but that can be fixed. Stay tuned because there's a lot more content to come. I'll go kick my dog's ass because he won't shut up later.